Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gabriel Jimenez, and I'm the Assistant Director for Student Initiative at the Office of Institutional Diversity. I have to say that the days so far have been really wonderful with many panelists, many good information about UGA, about that transitioning from high school to college life. First, I want to say congratulations to all the high school students. Great achievement. You being accepted to UGA is wonderful, and we want to again say congratulations to all of you. We at this session number 3, we are going to have a wonderful group of people having a discussion, having a conversation in terms of social opportunities and experiences. But first, I am really honored, and it's my pleasure to present to all of you Dr. Michelle Cook. She's the Vice Provost, for Diversity and Inclusion and Strategic University Initiative. Dr. Cook, thank you for being here, and this is your floor now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Gabriel. Good afternoon, Movimiento Latino, and Buenos Tardes. Thank you all for joining us for our virtual experience of UGA Ready. We are hosting this event primarily because we want you to seriously consider the University of Georgia as you make your collegiate plans. We realize that a lot goes into making that decision, but we believe that UGA is the full package, academically, socially, economically, and we have incredible opportunities here at the university. And when you graduate from UGA, you will have a degree that will enable you to accomplish whatever you wish to do. You'll be a part of a very large and active community of alumni who are doing incredible things. You'll be a part of the Bulldog Nation. So why UGA? I could give you details and numbers, such as the number of books in the library, the acreage that the campus covers, because it's pretty big, or the economic, political, and cultural impact that UGA has on the state, the region, the nation, and honestly, the world. And then, of course, there is athletics. But I won't shower you with this data, because at the end of the day, there's simply numbers, impressive numbers, but numbers all the same. How do they affect you as a student in making a collegiate decision? UGA is a large place, but I would say that no student feels as if there's simply a number here. UGA does many things well, and one of the things I think that we do wonderfully is make this very large place very small and very personal for each of our students. This event is an example of this. We're interested in you as an individual. We're invested in your success. We want to help you to realize the goals that you have set for yourself. So large doesn't mean lost in the crowd. At UGA, large means opportunity. I've already talked about facts and the figures that I could share, but I want to reiterate the fact that being a student at an institution that has the size, the resources, the diversity, and the reach that the University of Georgia has allows you as a student to have opportunities that you simply won't have at a much smaller institution. And we want to talk about diversity. You are that next generation, and UGA is committed to diversity. I know this or I would not be there. We need great minds and creative young thinkers like yourselves from every demographic. This past year, UGA was particularly pleased with our ability to attract the best, the brightest, and the most diverse freshman class ever. This program is part of a larger initiative to continue to grow the numbers and percentages of underrepresented students who matriculate at the University of Georgia. And we just don't want to increase the presence of students of color here at Georgia. We want to make incredible efforts to increase the sense of community, inclusion, and advocacy that students of color receive while here. Again, we're invested in your success. We want to make sure that we support you every step along the way. We recognize that choosing a college can be a difficult decision. The choice of college is one that impacts the entire family. And it's important that you know that you have the support and endorsement of your family. But we too want to be your family. We pledge our support of and investment in you. We work daily to ensure that the University of Georgia will not only meet your collegiate needs, but prepare you to move on in your life and accomplish your goals. I encourage each of you to take advantage of this virtual University of Georgia experience, UGA Ready, which has been crafted and curated explicitly for you to learn all that you can about our campus, our culture, and what the institution offers. And I challenge you to consider how you would look as a Bulldog, how you would contribute to this community. As Vice President Victor Wilson stated through the academic opportunities component, you should embrace this institution and make it your own. You're in the process of making decisions about the next stage of your academic career. By participating in this program, I'm convinced that you're on the right track. But I want to let you know that we're committed to your success. We're so excited to have you join us today. We look forward to the opportunity to host you on our incredible campus, because nothing can substitute for the amazing University of Georgia campus and that electric feeling that you have as you walk onto that campus and participate in the many opportunities that we have for you. Again, congratulations, welcome to the University of Georgia, and as always, go Dogs.
Thank you so much, Vice Provost. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you. Those are really wonderful words. Right now, we are going to have my good friend. He is the Assistant Director for the Office of Multicultural Services and Program, John Alvarez-Turner. Thank you, John, for being here. And again, this is your floor.
Hello, how are you? How's everybody doing? I am going to give you a presentation today, and hopefully this is going to work correctly. And so I'm going to share my screen so that we can you can know a little bit more about our department. So I hope all of you can see the screen right now, and I want to welcome you. On behalf of our director, Dr. Sharonda Cooper, the Office of Multicultural Services and Programs, we welcome you to the University of Georgia. In selecting the University of Georgia, you will already have been making the excellent choice to contribute your talent and passion to our vibrant community. Your MSP office, and that's our nickname, MSP, is committed to playing an active role in moving the university's mission forward by preparing students for full participation in the global society of our modern world. Through its programs and practices, MSP offers students many opportunities to carry out this charge. So, who am I? My name is John Alvarez-Turner, and I am the Assistant Director of Multicultural Services and Programs here at the University of Georgia. Yo nací en Fajardo, Puerto Rico, y me gradué de la Universidad de Central Florida with my bachelor's degree, and then the University of Akron with my master's degree. And I'm actually beginning my doctoral program this summer here at the University of Georgia. So I'll be a student, just like all of you. I am responsible for 6 of the 12 student organizations, and we'll talk a little bit more about those that fall underneath the department. 2 of those organizations are Latinx organizations, one called Latino Serving Students of Tomorrow, or LISTO, and the Hispanic Student Association, all which fall under my purview. Now, as you can see, MSP works to create an inclusive campus environment by supporting the development and affirming experiences for all students, particularly our multicultural students. The University of Georgia is committed to fostering and the understanding and respect of these cultural differences. MSP models their value of inclusivity by offering, collaborating, and supporting programs and events aimed at uniting the campus community in appreciation of our diverse cultures, backgrounds, and experiences. MSP provides opportunities for all students to embrace their cultural heritage and expand their horizons. Now, we have our core values. Core values are very important for our office. They are the advocacy, authenticity, community, social justice, fortitude, and zest. We are here to always be a vocal supporter for whatever the needs are for our multicultural students. And we value all our students by creating a welcoming space in our office. We can always call the MSP office a home away from home, a family. You can come in and sit down in our furniture. We have the entire fourth floor of Memorial Hall. And you can come and sit in our office anytime and speak to any one of our assistant directors or GAs. We're all there to assist you in any way that we possibly can. And it is in doing that we create a community that is extremely important when developing relationships. We want you to belong. We want you to feel like you belong, and we do value you. We also value social justice as both the process and a goal toward a vision for a society that is equitable. And in pursuit of that goal, we often help our students develop this concept of persevering through tough times. We're going to always be there for you whenever you need us. We also value the optimism of our team in our work together. We always work with our students. We work with our student organizations that fall underneath the MSP. And we deal with the many issues and assist you in the many heavy works that you guys will be doing when you belong into those student organizations. So what are those student organizations? Well, we have 12 of them. We have the Black Affairs Council, Pamoja Dance Company, Indian Cultural Exchange, Infusion Magazine, Black Theatrical Ensemble, Asian American Student Association, BEST, the Black Educational Support Team, Listo Peer Mentoring, which we'll talk a little bit about, UGA chapter of the NAACP, Black Male Leadership Society, the Abenifuku Honor Society, and the Hispanic Student Association. Now, Listo is a tremendously important organization that I highly recommend, and please be looking out for an email from either myself or our director, Dr. Sharona Cooper, regarding Listo. Listo is a peer mentoring group specifically for our Latinx incoming first-year freshman students, and it will help you acclimate with, and you heard Dr. Cook say how incredibly large our campus is. It's very big, and Listo helps you navigate through that. Not only through the campus, but they also assist you with the many resources for you to find that can assist you to navigate your first year at the University of Georgia. Please be looking out for that email and invitation to join Listo, so that you can get your own peer mentor that will navigate you through what I call the forest of the first year. So some of the MSP programs that we do, we are going to be holding a Men of Color Leadership Summit, and hopefully it'll happen at either the fall or the spring semester. But this summit deals with some of the issues that men of color deal with. Now, is this summit going to be only for men to attend? No. We expect that many people of many persuasions of the genders to come and be part of this event, because it's tremendously important to deal with some of the issues that affect our male of color. We also have a program this year called the Defamation Experience, which is a play that actually deals with race, class, religion, and how gender collide in a riveting courtroom drama. In the end of that, you, the audience, become the judge and the jury on making a decision whether this person is guilty or not. It's a tremendously incredible program that we had, and we're hopefully going to have it again this year. We also hold in January an event called the Inclusive Excellence Retreat, and we definitely recommend, especially all our first-year students, to attend this. You will be getting an email probably in September, October about this event, and it is a two-night event where you are going to be discussing the many issues that deal with inclusivity and equity. So some of our signature programs include a Rite of Sankofa graduation celebration. This Rite of Sankofa is anybody can be a part of, particularly our African American and our African students take part in this event. And it is a tradition of over 25 years. It is a celebration and of the graduation of our African and African American students, or those who identify as African or African American. We also hold another event called a senior reception. Any student who is a senior and part of an MSP organization will be celebrated. We'll have an event for them celebrating where we recognize all their accomplishments. And yes, you do receive a stole for that. Now, the one thing that I like to talk about that I think is tremendously important, and although it's not an MSP event, it is an event that we highly support because it is sponsored by the Hispanic Student Association. And Hispanic Student Association falls underneath Multicultural Services Program. It is a graduation celebration called ALAS, Affirming Latinx Achievement and Success. Unfortunately, because of the situation that's going on with the coronavirus, we unfortunately had to cancel the live event. But this year, we are doing something different where we are still holding the event, but virtually. And our incredibly, what I call my genius students in HSA, developed this entire virtual concept of graduation celebration, and it will still occur this year, and we will still have a video and showcasing all our Hispanic students that will be graduating in May. Here's what you look, what you would look like. Everyone gets a stole for the ALAS graduation convocation, and it is definitely a very festive event, and hopefully we will have it this upcoming 2021. We have another area, and it's located in the Tate Student Center. It's called the Intersection at Tate. Now, this is a tremendously important space. It allows students to get together in a safe area where they can congregate, discuss, talk, have open dialogue, meet, introduce each other, develop relationships, and it's located in the atrium at the Tate Student Center. When you come on campus, please don't hesitate to drop by so that you can see what it looks like and where you can hang out, especially during your lunch times. Finally, I just want to let you all know that as the Assistant Director of Multicultural Services and Programs, I'm so ecstatic to be doing this presentation to you all. And I want to welcome you that at any time that you should be in Athens and drop by the University of Georgia, please don't hesitate to come visit us at Multicultural Services and Programs on the 4th floor in Memorial Hall. We are a very welcoming group, and we will definitely give you a big tour of the 4th floor so that you know exactly all the places that you can hang out with your fellow students and colleagues. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and welcome to the University of Georgia.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Alvarez-Turner. Thank you for that wonderful presentation about MSP. Right now, we are going to have our Q&A session with our graduate assistant, Gabriela Saenz. She's the graduate assistant for student outreach. Welcome back, Gabby, as we call Gabriela. This is your opportunity now to answer some of the questions, Mr. Alvarez. So, Gabriela, go ahead. Thank you.
So our first question from students today, how can students join the different student organizations through MSP?
That's very easy. There are different organization fairs that you're going to be seeing and being invited to by the Tate Student Center, and they will have tabling events. You'll be able to see everybody all the different organizations, but specifically the MSP organizations. But if you're interested in any of the Hispanic Latinx organizations, HSA, in conjunction with all the Latinx student groups at the University of Georgia, are going to be holding an event right outside Memorial Hall. And it is a welcoming event, almost like a barbecue, almost like a street party type of thing, where you will be able to see all the student organizations, from fraternities and sororities that are Latinx to organizations that deal with engineering, like Society for Hispanic Professional Engineers, things like that. So yeah, there'll be many opportunities, and you will be contacted. I promise you that.
And related, how can students balance, the new demands of college classes and student organizations? Do you have any words of advice?
Yes, and that is a big question, and probably something that I'm going to be dealing with also, because I'm going to be a student in the summer, and I'm already getting email to join student organizations, and I'm an administrator at the university. I will tell you that I highly recommend Listo as an organization to join in your first year. They are going to, they know everything. The peer mentors know pretty much everything that happens at the University of Georgia, the do's and the don'ts, how you time manage, how you don't overextend yourself by joining every single organization that's out there. They will definitely assist you with that, and you will get an invitation. I would say probably first week of August.
Thank you. And a related question, what other resources are there in terms of studying for students?
And one of the things that you'll see are some of the issues regarding study time. Again, I go back to Listo, and the reason I do is because I am such a big proponent of what they do and the information they disseminate. They know from the best places to study, the most quiet place to study, places where you can study as a group. Miller Learning Center is one of them. The library. It's such a. I know a student though who does not want to study anywhere near people, and finds a garden. There's a garden at the University of Georgia that she goes to, and she sits there, and that's where she studies. And what's hilarious is that she takes her hammock with her, and she puts the hammock between two trees, and she's there reading and studying. So there is a lot of resources, a lot of places. Again, I go back to Listo because literally they know all the great places to study and all the resources, including tutoring opportunities and things like that that will assist you if you're having some issues and challenges.
Thank you. Next question, when is the Hispanic Welcome event that you described?
It's currently to be determined, unless the president of HSA will be coming on to do her presentation. Unless they have decided already, I haven't heard yet, but it happens pretty quickly in the semester. I'm assuming probably that first week of school, if not the first week of September after Labor Day.
Do you recommend students be involved in multiple organizations their first year, or what do you recommend?
I recommend students to look at their class load first. That is above anything else. Academics comes first. And take a look at your class load and start out with one or two student organizations. Don't overextend yourself that first year. The first year is always the hardest because you want to acclimate. The other thing that I would highly recommend is that once you join the student organizations, make really good friends that you know that are going to give you that push that you need academically. That's going to make you feel like you're part of a family. The issues that always happen with our freshmen is that they get homesick. And the best cure for homesickness is to have some really good positive friends that are going to kick you in the butt when you need it, so that you can do well in class. And then you always have MSP. You have me, you have Dr. Hodges, you have Dr. Cooper, you have our administrative assistant, Miss Sandra. We're all there to help and support you and find the resources that you need if you come to us with issues that you're having.
Thank you. Our next student question, does MSP offer any Hispanic-based scholarships?
We don't offer scholarships because we are a programming unit, and so the programming unit basically is what we do. We do programs to supplement the things that you're learning in class. And so for scholarship information and things like that, I always recommend to go to financial aid. They have a plethora of information regarding that. And I also recommend them to OID. They assist in so many different ways where they can lead you on a path where I'm not going to confuse you. They have all the information.
Thank you. And when a student does join LISTO, are they partnered with someone by major, or how does that work?
They can partner you by major. They can partner you by what you like, your likes, and things like that. So yeah, there is a partnering. There is a event where your partners get revealed, and it's a great event, and everybody is so happy. I'll be able to go to my first one this year because I want to see how it's like. Last year I was able to train Lisa in advising and peer mentoring methods. And so this year we're kind of going to do the same thing with our peer mentors before school starts, and then I'll be able to attend one of those events just to see how happy everybody gets when they see who their mentor is.
Thank you. And a student is asking that they would be new to Athens. How would you describe the Latino community or Latinx community of Athens and UGA?
I think the Latinx community at UGA is how do I say this? But I feel like I'm part of a family. And with the administrators, especially, I consider my brothers and sisters, and you'll get to know them very, very well. The Latino student community at the University of Georgia is incredible. They are tremendously active. HSA is one of the biggest organizations. Literally, I was so proud of them. They had pretty close to 220 members, one of the largest communities on campus, and they're constantly active, constantly doing something new. Their meetings, HSA's meetings are incredible. You feel like you're at home with your brothers and sisters.
Thank you. And what about the other student organizations? Do they welcome Latino students even if the organization isn't necessarily Latino?
Absolutely. I know many different Latinos that are part of the different organizations that exist, not just in MSP, but beyond MSP. Pardon me. There are Latinos that are part of the Black student groups that are on our campus. I've even seen Latinos in our Asian student organizations. Wherever you feel comfortable, you're always going to be welcome, especially at MSP.
Thank you. Do you find students frequently change majors? What do you?
I'm going to tell you, before I started working at the University of Georgia, I was an academic advisor at another university. And I've seen many a freshman that change their majors 1, 2, or 3 times before they find their niche, they find their home. It's not surprising. It won't be surprising to your academic advisor. It's not surprising to me. I've seen it happen even with our own student assistants that we hire in our office.
Thank you. And how about in terms of like scholarships and financial aid? Do you know anything about the, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Gueseta scholarship?
Yes, I have heard of it. I don't know much about it, and I don't want to steer you the wrong way. I highly recommend that you talk to financial aid or someone at admissions. I believe Rosa is an admissions counselor. She might know a little bit about that scholarship. Yeah, I've heard of it, and I heard that sometimes it can be substantial. So yeah, I would recommend highly to go to your financial aid counselor and find out more about that. Thank you.
Well, at this time, I think that's all the questions we have in regards to MSP. Mr. Alvarez-Turner, thank you. Pleasure to have you today. Glad to see you're well.
Thank you so much, MSP and Mr. Alvarez. That was a wonderful presentation. Great answers. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Again, thank you. I just want to add few details in terms of scholarship. The Office of Institutional Diversity, we always have a series of scholarship for freshman students. You can find more information in diversity.uga.edu. Again, this is diversity.uga.edu. Please go visit our website and get the knowledge on how to apply for the different scholarships that we have, again, for the freshmen. And now, moving, we are going to have the president from HSA, the Hispanic Student Association, Carolina, having a conversation with our graduate assistant, Gabriela Saenz, and they have also a wonderful presentation for all the students. Carolina.
Hi, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. How are you doing, Carolina?
I'm good, how are you?
Welcome, welcome to our session number 3. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I will give you the floor to present to our students the wonderful student organization that is Hispanic Student Association. So thank you, Carolina. This is your place now for you.
Awesome, thank you so much. Hi guys, my name, as Gabriel said, is Carolina Benoit. I am the current president of the Hispanic Student Association. There we are. I also would like to introduce Nicole Garcia Sanchez. She's going to be our next year's president, and also Brianna Alvarado, who is our secretary for next year. We have a little presentation set up for you guys, and then we're going to answer some questions at the end, but feel free to be sending in questions all throughout. We're so excited to tell you about what we do. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and I'm going to kick it off to Nicole.
Well, hi everybody. As Carolina said, my name is Nicole Garcia Sanchez. I am currently the Cultural Development Chair, but I'm going to be the president next year, and I'm very excited. So basically, I should say we are the biggest Hispanic organization in UGA. We have around 200 members, and hopefully it's going to keep growing. We basically are the mother organization for the other Hispanic organizations in school. We're not the only one. There's Hispanic organizations for Greek life, and there's also some professional ones too that you can look into and join. But we basically meet every other week, or sometimes we have other events to kind of bring that sense of familia into our community. we socialize, you make friends, and we also learn and celebrate our culture. And we are just here for you to have a home away from home in some way. Yeah.
So what we do, as Nicole said, we're mostly a social organization. Our biggest mission is to just get in a room and unite everyone and have conversations, interact. So we have those meetings every other week, as Nicole said. They're called GBMs, or general body meetings. That's where everyone comes together and just hangs out. As you can see in this picture right here, that was at one of our first GBMs. It was super fun. You can see the room is packed. There's, as Nicole said, 200 people in our organization. That's dues paying. That's not even including everyone else that just comes out for a fun time. So we play games, hang out, have interesting conversations. But really it's just a time to get away from the stress of school, get away from the stress of other organizations or work or whatever you have going on, and just get together in a community where you feel welcome, where you feel like you are a part of a family, where you are able to connect to people who are similar to you. We also have every fall an event called Noche Latina. Noche Latina is a celebration of our culture. It is absolutely incredible. It's a lot of fun. It's typically some sort of play that you guys can get involved in if you guys are interested in acting, or if you like to sing or you like to dance, you have any sort of cool performances. We're always looking for talent to put in our showcase. So if you're a thespian or if you like to dance or anything like that, that's totally open to you, and that's in the fall. So you'll be seeing, as we get closer to October, which is when it's put on, you'll be seeing a lot of opportunities to get involved, whether that's behind the scenes decorations or however. That's also a really great way to get to know other people in the Hispanic community at UGA, other advisors, people in MSP, people in the organization itself. So that's a really great thing. We also have Spring Gala, which unfortunately we had to cancel this year. It was actually supposed to be tonight, which is really sad. But basically it's an HSA prom, which is so much fun. Everyone dresses up. We get to recap the entire year. We get to see all the different events that we do and the pictures, and we get to introduce the new board, and we have a DJ. It's so nice. It's a lot of fun. You can see in this picture here, this was this year's board, all dressed up after their introduction at Spring Gala. We do really fun events outside of our GBMs and our 2 signature events. One of them is our alumni tailgate, where we invite all the UGA alumni to come back and have a really fun time getting ready for games. So we have a DJ for that. It's really fun. It's a good way to immerse yourself in other aspects of UGA life, like the tailgate scene and the football games and all that kind of stuff. So that's always really fun. We also do a lot of community service events. As you can see down here, we were helping fix up the Latin American Ethnobotanical Garden on campus. So there's always, if you're interested in community service, there's a ton of opportunities to help out around the Athens community. You can't see it here, but we also have, in 4 years, for you guys, a graduation ceremony for all Hispanic students. You don't have to be inside of HSA, just if you're Hispanic and you're graduating. We get to celebrate you and your accomplishments. It's a really incredible, intimate celebration. Your parents get to put stoles on you. It's bilingual, so we put it on in English, we put it on in Spanish, and it's really an incredible moment. That's a new thing that we started doing 3 years ago, and it's really been touching for a lot of people. So we also have something called the First Year Committee, and I'm going to throw it off to Brianna to talk about that.
All right, thank you. Hi guys, so like Carolina said, I'm Brianna Alvarado. I'm this year's upcoming secretary, and so I'm currently a first year, and I know it can be a little overwhelming, like they said. There's like over 200 people in the group. I know when I first went to my GBM, I was overwhelmed by the amount of people were there, but I heard about this thing called First Year Committee, and I was a little bit late to it, but I decided to join. And basically it's open to first years or transfers, and it like makes the group a little bit smaller. You have like a familia within another familia, and it's just people who are in the same boat as you. And so basically we meet every other Tuesday or one, I can't remember, but it's like Tuesday nights at around 8 p.m. or 7. And so we just talk, and we also help out with events that they do. So for example, Noche Latina, we had this shirt made, Noche Latina. So we are split up into groups. So I was in the decor committee, and we each have like roles. So this really helps like build your leadership skills. And I was in the core committee. I was with a group with like 5 to 6 girls. And for Noche Latina, we had to like, make sure we had the right supplies, decorate, and just help out. And Noche Latina was a huge success. And it really got to see like the behind the scenes of what HSA does. I got to meet more of like Carolina and like our vice president, Jenny, and a bunch of other members, and see kind of what they did and really refine and hone in our like leadership skills. So like make sure we turn in things on time, work as a team, and just see what HSA is. And I really made some great friends from here. Like I didn't know it, but I saw a picture from Movimiento Latino last year, and we ended up like, we were in the same group. We didn't even know. And we're like, oh guys, look, we were in Movimiento Latino together. We didn't even know. But I made so many amazing friends from this. And it's just a really great way to get plugged in and really involved in HSA.
Yeah. First year committee for me was a pivotal moment. Joining it was a pivotal moment in my UGA career. It completely defined how my college life was going to look. I met my best friend, Jenny, who also was my vice president this year, through first year committee. I was on the executive board my freshman year, which is pretty rare actually. And I've been on exec board all 3 years, and it's really given me some incredible experiences. I've been able to meet the President Moorhead, the president of UGA. Like I had a dinner with him. I've been able to meet some really incredible leaders inside of the Athens community and the Hispanic community. I've met a lot of amazing people, had so much fun at our meetings. As you can see here, we have some of our FYC team during our pumpkin painting GBM, where we just bought some pumpkins and painted them for Halloween. Here was a social in, I think they went to a movie theater. There's a lot of different socials, and we'll see more pictures later, but first year committee completely changed my life. And so I really suggest that you guys join it, come to a meeting or two. It's really incredible. Before we throw it off to some questions, I want you guys to follow us. This is all of our social media. We have our Instagram, which is the one we're most active on, our Twitter, and our Facebook, which we use more for events and stuff like that. If you are interested in connecting with me, Nicole, or Brianna individually or directly, here are our Instagram handles. You're welcome to follow us and reach out to us. We are here for you in literally every aspect possible. We want to welcome you to UGA life. We want you guys to love it as much as we love it. And we want you guys to love HSA. So I'm gonna hold that up there for a second in case you guys want to take a second and follow any of our accounts. And then I'm gonna show you some pictures and just more pictures of our family, our community, what we do around UGA, and then we'll take some questions. I wanted to talk through these really quickly. As I said, we do a lot of community service events. This one right here was for our holiday meeting, which is at the end of the fall semester. The freshman and first year council put that on. So if you join the first year council, you'll be helping with events. You'll be planning spring gala with your vice president. You guys are the ones in charge of it. You choose the theme, you choose the t-shirts, you choose everything. So you guys have a really lasting impact on what HSA does in a year. You also plan, as I said, the holiday meeting. So we did we always have a charity component, and here we collected a whole bunch of toys. You can't even see all of them. The entire office was just packed with toys. It was an absolutely incredible moment to see so many people come together and contribute in the holiday spirit. Again, here's our tailgate. We have different collaborations with organizations that aren't just Hispanic. So if you're interested in learning more about intersectionality, we have a lot of events with other MSP orgs. You heard John talk about them earlier. So BAC, the Black Affairs Council, or ASA, the Asian American Student Association. We have a lot of really cool collabs. So it's not just the Hispanic community. You get to grow within that and get to meet other students. We did another really fun fitness class at Orange Theory, if you guys know what that is. And then there's just another picture of our GBM. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff going on. There's always something that you can do. If you're more community service oriented, we have a lot of that. If you just want to come and meet people, that's what we're here for. So we're so excited to see you, and I think we'll start taking questions.
Well, muchas gracias, Carolina. Muchas gracias a Nicole and Brianna. Wonderful presentation. Awesome pictures. Just for curiosity, can you talk to us about that picture where all the Latinx students, they were dressed with the Bulldog attire? I believe that's the homecoming, am I right?
That was the alumni tailgate, yes. So a lot of alumni come, you get to
Can you
connect
share
with
something
them.
about that, please?
Yes, you get to connect with them. You get to talk to them. It's actually a really great way to like meet people who were in the same spot that you were a few years ago even. And we have something that the Cultural Development Chair puts on that's called Orgullo Hispano, which is a professional connections meeting where you get to meet other Hispanic staff and you get to meet other alumni and stuff like that. So the alumni tailgate is really a nice social setting to get to meet other people, to have a lot of fun, to really integrate yourself in other aspects of UGA life that aren't just Hispanic communities. Everyone loves game days. You'll find out when you get here. It's so much fun. The entire campus has this energy that's so exciting, and you get to be a part of that, and it's really cool. So that's what our alumni tailgate is. We get a DJ, we get food. It's so fun. So definitely you should come out to that. Yo tengo una pregunta aquí. Should I go ahead and answer them?
Well, yes, I think we're going to invite now Gabriela, and she's going to be doing that Q&A session with all of you. So, Gabriela, thank you again.
Sure. Thank you, HSA. Great presentation. And before we go a deep dive into questions, I was hoping each of you could maybe tell us what high school you went to, where you grew up, what why you chose UGA, what your favorite thing about UGA, just so students have a chance to meet you. I know if we were doing Movi in person, they'd get a chance to get to know you guys. So thank you.
Absolutely. Nicole, why don't you start off?
Okay, so I am Nicole, I already said that, but I am from Maracaibo, Venezuela. I actually am an international student. I moved to the US 2-3 years ago. I first moved to Boston, and then I came to Georgia for college. I picked UGA because I came to tour and I just fell in love with the campus. It's really gorgeous, and also it gave you that American college experience that you see on movies, and I just wanted to have that in some way. Also because it was the most financially easier decision for me, according to budget, and also I just like the weather in Georgia more than I like the weather in Boston. I didn't like snow at all, so I just wanted to be in this weather better. But yeah, I loved that I made this decision. I love the community I have formed within my friends and within HSA, and I wouldn't change it for the whole world.
What's your major?
Oh, so my major is public relations, and my minors are German and Latinx studies.
Brianna, why don't you go ahead?
All right, so hi guys, I'm Brianna again, like I said. So I grew up in Cumming, Georgia. It's in Forsyth County. I've been living here ever since I was born. I went to Forsyth Central High School. I graduated last year, crazy. But so I was looking at a bunch of schools. I was mainly focused on schools inside Georgia, just because I know out of state is a little bit expensive. So UGA has been one of my biggest dream schools, and when I came here to tour, I absolutely fell in love because they always talk about academics, and besides the football and all that, it's more about the family. Like the people that you find here they're big on family tradition, and I just love that. Everyone's so welcoming, and the amount, I know the Hispanic population here is not that big as other populations, but it's we're all a big family here. Everyone looks out for each other. And when I went to Movimiento Latino and I heard about this, I saw how everyone got together. I was like, I'm coming to this school. I was like, this school is amazing. And now that I'm here, I wouldn't change it for anything. I love being here. The campus, like Nicole said, is beautiful. It may be a little overwhelming because it's big, but you'll get used to it. It's just a really amazing school, and I love them here. And also my major. I'm majoring in public health motions and minoring in Portuguese.
Awesome. And as I said, I'm Carolina. I went to St. Pius 10th Catholic High School in Atlanta. I graduated in 2017. I'm a third year now. I'm studying, I'm doing a double major in management and marketing with a minor in Spanish. What I love about UGA, this is what I find really interesting about UGA, is I had not, when I was looking at different colleges to go to, I was not planning on going to UGA. I actually thought I wanted to go to an out-of-state small school, which is the complete opposite as UGA. And I ended up choosing UGA partly because of the financial aid, the Hope and Zell Miller scholarships are lifesavers. I came here partly because my twin brother did. And I came here partly because when I went to the campus, I don't know what it was something clicked. Something was like, you know what, maybe this is the place for me. And as I said, I was not looking for any big state school, complete opposite, but when I just came onto campus, I just felt comfortable. And I had a little bit of a hard time my fall semester, just adjusting to such a big school. I had gone to a small private school all my life. I wasn't used to having thousands of people around me. But what made me feel so at home in the end was HSA, because I was able to kind of whittle that down into a small community. And that's, I thank HSA for everything. Honestly, it's been, as I said, a huge part of my college life. So.
Well, if you guys feel ready, we're gonna start with questions. First question, when can a student join HSA, and can they join in the fall?
Yeah, absolutely. So every fall in the beginning of the year, in very late August or early September, typically right around there, there's a giant involvement fair. It can get a little hectic because it's in the student center. All the organizations are out there. So it's kind of, there's a lot of people, there's just a lot of stuff going on, but HSA is always there, and we're always taking people to to sign up, to put on our newsletter. Eventually you pay dues if you want to be a dues paying member, get the t-shirts, be able to run for executive board and vote and all that kind of stuff. But you can join HSA officially that way, or you can just come up to the meetings, however you choose. But you are able to sign up in the fall. We have something called the Welcome Back Barbecue, or the Welcome Barbecue, in August, and that's where all of the Hispanic orgs, the Latinx orgs, get together, and you can meet us individually. It's kind of a smaller involvement fair for Hispanic students. So we definitely recommend going out to that. You'll be able to see all of that information on our social media as we get closer to the start of the semester. But that's when you can start interacting with us. You can interact with us on all the time, just DM us. But that's when you can meet us in person, hang out with us, get to learn more about the organization. But yes, absolutely, beginning semester, beginning week, I was thinking semana, sorry. Beginning week, you can just jump in, and we'll be happy to have you.
Thank you. And do you guys speak Spanish in meetings?
There are some meetings that Nicole, do you want to talk about this one actually? You're muted.
My bad. Yeah, so we normally, in normal meetings, we don't. We sometimes throw some Spanish words around, but we do have an annual meeting that we do called Que Dijiste, and in there we talk about, it's all in Spanish, and we talk about our accents and different words how we use different words in different countries. And it was pretty fun this year. I did it, so I'm biased, but it was really fun, and we're gonna try to keep up doing it every year to keep up with our Spanish. But as somebody who, my first language is Spanish, I had a lot of fun with that meeting, and I'm sure you're gonna do too.
Absolutely. And most of our meetings we do have, they're all Hispanic oriented for the most part. We do sometimes like karaoke with like Spanish songs. So it's not all in English, but it's not all in Spanish either. So if you want to work on your Spanish, that's a great way to do that. If you aren't comfortable speaking Spanish, that's okay. If you want to speak Spanish, come out. We have all sorts of, it just kind of depends on the meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. And how do you join the first year committee?
So we have a sign up a little further into the semester. The vice president will start reaching out to the first years, and you just start coming out to the meetings. Brianna, do you want to elaborate?
Yeah. So when you first join one of the meetings, they usually have one meeting where you just get to meet all the first years of vice president. And I think you just go around asking regular questions, icebreaker questions, kind of getting to know who everyone each is. And then from there, they start talking about what FYC is. And then each meeting, we just either do socials, talk to each other, you know, update, like we're just best friends. And then we go on our first task is Noche Latina, and we just start working, but also having fun. So yeah.
Yeah,
And I
so
think this-
when you, sorry, Gabby, when
No.
you go to meetings, you'll also have the option to sign up there as well, so.
Great. Thanks, guys. And I think this is for all of you. What was your favorite part about being on the first year committee?
I think mine was planning Spring Gala my freshman year. That one was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. So I would say that probably.
I think mine would be, we planned the holiday event, and it was just really awesome because we had to make a photo drop. We made little like face carvings, like gingerbread man. They were like gingerbread making like stations. They were like coloring stations. They had hot cocoa, and it was really cute because we all took pictures. We all wore pajamas, and it was just really cute. I really loved it.
My experience with starting with HSA was a bit different. I did not join until my second semester when I reached out to HSA to ask for help to organize a fundraiser for Venezuela, and they helped me so much, and they care as if they were my best friends, and ever since then I've been inseparable with HSA. But I wish I had joined first year committee. It would have made my first semester so much easier. But yeah, it did not happen.
What advice would you give incoming first year students?
I would say get yourself involved from the get-go, but know your limits. I think I can speak on this one a lot because I'm very involved and sometimes a little too involved. So make sure that you take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, your studies, because in the end, that's what you're there for. So make sure that you are responsible with where you put your interests, but definitely get involved. I was on the sailing team my freshman year. I joined a publication where you get to write. Like, I did a whole bunch of different stuff, and I loved every minute of it. So get involved.
Yeah, same as Carolina, and get involved. I did not do that my first semester, and I regret it so much. For some reason, I wanted to challenge myself super hard, and I took like 17 credits, and I did not get very involved, and I definitely should have to get out of my comfort zone in some ways. So get out of your comfort zone, get involved, know your limits, and always take care of yourself. It's not all just school. It is, but it's your grades are not everything in some way.
I would just say be open, have fun, and like be ready to make amazing friendships, because I know I wasn't expecting some organization that I had no idea about for me to find like amazing friends, because in high school usually when organizations, it's all very like school oriented, like it's all very like methodical, but with this you're just there and it's very open. I didn't think I'd be like very attached to a group that I am now, but I love it so much. And I just say just like be open to like new experiences, to making new friendships, because you never know what HSA, or like not just HSA but just any groups, like being involved would bring you.
Thank you. And related, we have a question asking, what are some of the different Hispanic ethnicities in HSA?
We have all types of ethnicities. Our first GBM, we kind of have a introductory meeting and we hold up flags and you get to go next to your flag that you identify with. So I am Puerto Rican Cuban. As Nicole said, she's Venezuelan. Brianna is Mexican, correct me if I'm wrong. So we have a lot of different cultural identities. We have a lot of Mexicans and Central Americans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, Costa Ricans. We have Dominicans, we have Puerto Ricans, we have Cubans, we have a lot of Central Americans, we have Spanish, people from Spain, we have Brazilians because we are Hispanic and Latinx, so we include everyone in that. Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, Bolivia, everywhere, literally basically everywhere, yeah. Truly.
Thank you. And how many credits do you recommend that new students take? Like, given your experiences, what would you recommend? And maybe maybe you think it depends on your major, but what would you recommend?
Definitely check with your advisor when you come in to see how much you actually need to take to be on track. But just do that, I guess. Don't try to do more just because that's what I did. But yeah, whatever you feel you can fit within your lifestyle, do that.
Brianna, do you want to?
Yeah, so I wasn't really sure about the whole credit hours thing. I was like, what is that, like classes? But I basically took like 5 classes. I'm a health promotions major, so I took pretty easy classes. I think I took like 14, 15 credit hours. And as long as you space it out, like I didn't take classes every single day. As long as you space it out, plan out what you're going to do, like Nicole said, talk to your advisor and do what you think you can do. Don't try and go over, because I know many of my friends, they did over and they stressed themselves out. I try to make sure I took what I needed, maybe like one more class, space them out so I had like some free time to do like a bunch of other things. So yeah.
And also I also took 17 hours my first semester, but for me, I had a different experience because some of the classes that I took were really easy. And so I didn't find them as difficult as the next year when I took less credit hours but harder classes. So talk to your advisor. Also, feel free to reach out to us. Like we can tell you what classes are easy, which ones are hard, which teachers to take. If you don't know, go to ratemyprofessor.com and look up your professors. Ratemyprofessors.com. Lifesaver. Lifesaver. So definitely go to those resources. There's that one, and there's one called Koofers, KOOFERS.com. You can look up your professors and see if they're if they have good ratings. And so that way, when you start structuring your schedule, you can kind of see which ones are the easier classes, which ones are the easier teachers. So 17 hours is possible, and you can do it while still taking care of yourself. You just have to be careful about how you do it, which ones you take at the same time. Some classes you don't want to take at the same time. But again, like reach out to us personally. We'll tell you. We'll totally help you out. We'll be your mini advisors. But do go to your actual advisor.
We can also recommend which classes to take for which requirements, for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, guys. The next question I think I can answer. It's asking, when is Movimiento Latino? And because of the coronavirus, we essentially had to move it virtually, and that's what part of today is. So really, everything you described is a part of HSA and MSP and the normal fall and spring events, where Movimiento Latino is specifically for recruitment. So I hope that answers that question. And our next question, what types of service and community service does HSA offer to the local Hispanic community?
So we do have different community service events throughout the year that falls into the community service outreach share, but they organize, we have a garden cleanup that happened a lot this year. We also have cooking sessions, how do you call them? Where they serve food for the community.
Food kitchen, soup kitchen.
Yeah. And then we also have tutoring sessions that we do for the elementary kids and middle school kids in the Athens community. We sometimes translate for the parent-teacher conference to translate to the parents in Spanish. But we do have a lot of events, but that they vary every year for sure.
Brianna, do you want to add anything? You're muted.
Yeah, everybody's muted.
Sorry. So I didn't do much community service because, like I said, I kind of regret that. I didn't get really involved my first year or my first semester, but I did most of, or I can't remember which ones I did, but there's definitely the garden cleanup. Right now I'm in La Clase tutoring. I think they came and offered that through HSA. So I used to tutor kids every Tuesday and Thursdays, and I help them with, because they're most Spanish speaking. So I would help them with their English, their math homework, English homework, any other homework they need help on. And there's another one I think called Oasis, and it's part of the Catholic Center, I think. And it's with Sister Margarita, I think. And they have this little playground, and there's where you can play with kids and also help them with their homework and everything like that.
So we've got 3 questions. Hopefully we can fit them in the next 2 minutes. Lightning round. How did you choose your roommate?
I'm gonna let Nicole answer that one.
So I actually found my roommate on Facebook. There's like a University of Georgia admitted students of this year group chat. They always make them every year. And there's people that post their message like, hey, my name is blah, 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 I'm looking for a roommate. And I just glanced right there and I was looking for somebody who looked Hispanic. That sounds terrible, but it's the truth. And because I wanted somebody who shared my culture and that I was gonna be able to come home and talk Spanish too. And it actually worked really, really well because she's my best friend now, and she was also the community outreach chair this year. And I know not a lot of people can say that, but it did work out really well. So that's what worked for us because we got to know each other beforehand. So if you can do that through Facebook, I recommend it. If not, I think it's random for a lot of people, yeah.
Next question. Is there a Catholic church with Spanish Mass?
Yes. So the Catholic Center UGA has masses every Sunday in English. I think 8 a.m., I want to say 10, and then 6 p.m. Fun fact, if you're Catholic, and even if you're not, if you go to the 6 p.m. masses on Sunday nights, you get free dinner afterwards. May not mean that much to you when you're on a meal plan, but I promise you when you're off that meal plan, lifesaver, just so you know. But there's also, you have to drive to it. The Catholic Center is on campus, but if you go drive 10 minutes to St. Joe's Catholic Church, tienen misa a las 2 de la tarde on like Domingo, Domingo. That's what happens when I code switch. Sunday masses a las 2, so you can do that, and I think that Catholic Center has mass once a month in Spanish. But other than that, if you can just go to the Catholic Center and get that free dinner at 6 p.m., highly recommend.
Thank you. I want to thank you guys, and you're welcome to stick around. Now we're going to change course with alumni, but you guys did a great job. Thank you for your time. And to our attendees who were not able to ask their questions, or I didn't have enough time for your questions, please feel free to send more questions and contact HSA directly. They will get back to you. We will get back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, HSA. Thank you, Nicole, Caroline, and Brianna again. Thank you, Gabby, for doing this wonderful conversation and the Q&A session. Again, I want to emphasize that, yes, if you want to know more about HSA, more about UGA, more about the Latinx community, you can email me, HSA, or anybody. Right now, I would like to invite our next group of panelists. These are the Latinx alumni.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, thank you so much for doing this. So first, I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Let's start doing that.
Sure, Jasmine, do you wanna start us off?
Sure. So I'm very OCD and did a little presentation because I didn't want to forget anything. So let me share my screen really quick.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Can y'all see this? Let's see. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Jasmine Medrano, and I wanted to put that picture in there just to put things into perspective. That was me, I think, my second year at UGA as a Guazetta ambassador, and I had the fun time to get onto Sanford Stadium. So it was a lot of fun. So just seeing that picture just brings back all the memories and hearing all of the HSA panelists talking about their experience. But like I said, my name is Jasmine. I was a consumer foods major and I graduated in December 2015. I am a first generation Salvadorian American. And then I also have a graduate degree in Master in Public Health, and that was in 2019, so that was last year. And then I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about my involvement at UGA. I was a Gazette ambassador. I also did participate in LISTO, not as a mentee, but as a mentor. And then I was also involved in Lambda Theta Alpha Latin sorority. Currently, I am a nutrition education supervisor through UGA Extension. So I love UGA so much that I came back and started to work for UGA. So just a little, I have my contact information there as well. So that's a little bit about myself.
Well, I sadly don't have a presentation, so 2 thumbs up to you, Jasmine. That was awesome. And just for everyone's benefit, Jasmine and I actually met at UGA. And well, first let me start with my name, Juan Mencias. But me and Jasmine met at UGA. We're both part of the Gabriela Ambassador program at UGA. So I graduated back in 2015 with a degree in finance. I was part of the Terry College of Business. During my time at UGA, I was part of the Gabriela Ambassadors program. I was the president and started off as a member. I was also part of the Terry mentorship program, where I was paired up with a professional in my area of study. I was also a Terry ambassador. I was part of the honors program. Just got pretty dirty and hands-on when I was at UGA, so I got to experience a lot and meet a lot of cool people. Now I am working for Wells Fargo, and that opportunity actually came through the University of Georgia, as Wells Fargo was providing internships at the time of my junior year to prospective students who were interested in banking and were interested in internships. So I was able to interview on campus and got the internship and then got a full-time offer. So now I've been with Wells for almost 5 years. And so that's just a little bit about myself.
Well, thank you so much. I want to start with something really basic, but I guess this is going to be helpful for our students who are listening. I started describing you as a Latinx alumni. I know alumni for some communities is really well known, but can you explain what is an alumni?
Sure, I think we can both kind of take a shot at Jasmine. So an alumni is someone who's attended the university, whether it's UGA or any other university, and has successfully graduated, and kind of go back and, well, not go back and help, but that's up to you, but it's someone who's graduated from the university. And so, Jasmine, you probably know this better than I do, but I know there's alumni and alumnus. So I don't know if you want to explain that difference, if you know it.
Yeah, I know. Just alumnus or alumni. Yeah, I think it is alumnus. Is just describing a group of women who are alumni. I think that's the right term. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, I think alumni is masculine, alumnus is female, and then alumni is just plural, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's just someone who's graduated from the university and is recognized as having completed the bachelor program or the master's program. So yeah.
Yeah, and so you basically join a new network of people post-grad. So now you have your undergrad network, and then once you graduate, and we'll talk a little bit about that alumni network specifically for Latino students, but you join a whole new community that goes beyond just Georgia. It is now outside of the state. I used to live in Texas, and I would go to the Houston UGA alumni chapter event. So I was able to reconnect with a lot of the alumni folks in Texas, in Houston. And so it was very neat. Whenever I would see that red and black, I would be like, oh my God, there's somebody that went to UGA. Like, let me awkwardly say go Dogs, and then they would like awkwardly like reply back. So that's a big fun part of being an alumni, that new network.
And sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I was just gonna add, you know, there's a great alumni association that's here in Buckhead in Atlanta, that specializes in reaching out to graduates, making sure that they constantly get involved and provide activities, whether, you know, it's a tailgate, whether it's a Hawks game, and there's these networks that are built out throughout the U.S. and also abroad. So again, like Jasmine said, your network expands outside of just the university, outside of Georgia, outside the United States, as graduates are all over. And so once you graduate, you have this network that's available to you, and that can create so many opportunities for the future.
And even though it seems to be simple and basic, the question, but that's what I want our high school students to learn, that not only are they going to have a family while they are at UGA, but once they finish and they become an alumni, there is another set of family and network that is available for all of them. So it's a continued building relationship one after another.
Absolutely. You know, I think that's one of the biggest things you can leverage after you leave the university, is making sure you keep those contacts, because the world is so small that you have no idea who you're going to meet or come across with. And so I'm still in contact with people from my time at the university, but also people that were my mentors, people that they, you know, got me in contact with. And, you know, little do you know, that person that was a UGA graduate could be a person that hires you, or provides you an opportunity to be part of some leadership opportunity. But, you know, the opportunities are endless. And UGA has such a huge network that you can literally pick and choose what you want to do, who you want to talk to, and the resources are there. So you can reach out to the Alumni Association. You can say, hey, I'm interested in looking for someone in this field that are looking for opportunities in this field, and they can put you in contact with the right people. And I know for me, for example, people have reached out to me, you know, as part of the alumni program, to just ask for help, whether it's resume, interview, talk about, you know, my career and what I've done, and just provide guidance. So it's definitely something that you can leverage and use to your advantage.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So I want to go back to your time at UGA. For both of you, what was or what is your favorite memory of UGA? One that you say, wow, those are the UGA days. Wow, I miss them.
Yeah. I think about UGA memories a lot, especially right now where I'm just like in the real world, like doing adult work. And I'm just like, man, I really wish I could go back to those times that I was in Athens. But a memory for me was definitely just being a part of all the different student organizations. So Wayzata was that first organization that I would begin my involvement, and it really was such a great opportunity to really put myself out there. I never really took on too many leadership roles in high school. And so in college, I really made that a goal of mine to really step outside of my comfort zone. I went to a small high school. I went to Buford. At that point, back in the day, it was small. Now it's way bigger than what I went to. So I was like, okay, like I really want to go to a large university. So that's why I picked UGA. And so when I did Wayzata, I really wanted to do something where I can learn about leadership. And it was a great opportunity for me to reach out to students in middle school and some in high school, but it was a lot of outreach to our middle schools on how it's really possible to achieve college and for them to think about it even at that young age. So I really enjoyed doing that type of outreach. So that's, and then that picture that I showed was one of my favorite events that we did, was getting a chance to take, I don't know if you were there, Juan, like we brought so many kids onto Sanford Stadium and we did a tour and they were like running around and like all of the different ambassadors, we were just running around because you never get to step foot onto the field. So just to kind of see it from that point of view, like it was really cool. So that was probably one of my favorite memories.
Great.
And I think that leads perfectly to my answer. I think one of my favorite things was going to the football games. I mean, whether you like football or not, the atmosphere, the environment on a Saturday in Athens is unlike anything you've ever experienced. You're in a small town with over 100,000 people in it. The stadium alone holds over 90,000 people. They're your closest friends. You're jumping up and down. You see an ocean of red and black. You can feel the intensity. You can feel the momentum. It's just like nothing you've ever experienced. And I think it's so unique. And people love it. I mean, you get to hang out with your friends. You get to grill, cook out, tailgate, and just enjoy a Saturday. And it's truly one of the great experiences you get as a student. And you kind of take that for granted when you're there because, when you're there, I think you're paying $50 for the whole season. When you graduate, I think the cheapest ticket is probably over $100. So, it's definitely a bargain. And it's truly a unique experience that you get to enjoy. A lot of universities, don't have the athletics that we have, but whether it's football, basketball, anything like that, you definitely have activities that you can get involved with and go and experience. And like I said, football is one of those great things that will definitely leave a lasting impact on you because just experiencing, that intensity and that emotion is like none other.
I think this is a good time for me to ask both of you also again. You are right, UGA is a huge institution. When we have games, football games, it's bigger. Some of our students, Latinx students, they may have some hesitation because they see UGA and they say, but the Latinx community is really small. What can you say about that? How you overcome that? How you overcome that and you took the decision to say, hey, UGA is the one for me. How was your experience throughout your college life?
Yeah, for me, that was one of my things that like I mentioned, I went to UGA specifically because it was a large school. I really wanted to get that out of my comfort zone experience. So once I got to UGA, I was pretty in shock because yes, it's very large. You can get lost very easily. You will feel very overwhelmed, but you're also going to feel very excited. In those moments of uncertainty, you're going to be like, wow, like I made it here. And so what really helped me to make it feel less overwhelming was when I joined my sorority. So I joined Lambda Theta Alpha Latin sorority, and it's an academic Latina-based sorority. So I went into UGA with the goal of getting a degree out of it, graduating. So I wanted to make sure that I really surrounded myself by really driven individuals. And what better way than joining a sorority where it's majority Latina women, it's academic based, so we all value academics and our profession, how we're going to develop ourselves. So with that, I really felt that sense of family from being with my sorority sisters, and that transitioned through all of my 4 years. And now as an adult woman, like I still am very much so involved with those women, and it's still created that family and that support, which is so important. You really can't do college alone. You really need to surround yourself and be very intentional with the people that you surround yourself with. And I was very lucky that I really surrounded myself with really positive influences.
Cool.
For me, it was a little bit different. I didn't have the traditional 4-year, stay at UGA. My first 2 years, I was at community college and then actually transferred into UGA for my junior year. So I didn't quite get that freshman experience of living in the dorms, kind of finding my group, And so for me, it was a little bit scarier than most, I would say, because my path wasn't the traditional path, right? Starting as a freshman, having, you know, your set of friends and kind of building throughout the 4 years there. But I wouldn't change it at all, because I felt like even though I was there for 2 years, I was still able to build a great network and create memorable friendships. And that's the beauty about UGA. There's so many opportunities, there's so much diversity, there's so many different students that want to share, that want to contribute, that you can meet, that you feel like you have opportunities to make friends anywhere you go, you know. And I think, like Jasmine said, it's about stepping out and getting out of that comfort zone, and people are more than welcoming in nature. So, you know, you can never say, you know, I'm scared, I don't want to do this, or I don't see enough Latinx here. If you want it, it's there. You know, for me, being part of Goizueta was amazing. I was able to connect with Latinos. Through Terry, I was able to connect with Latinos. I got to experience Latino leaderships with people that came back to Terry who were Latinos and were successful business people. And so really, you know, while my path was a little different, I was still able to meet people who, you know, were similar to me, who were different. But that's the beauty of UGA. There's so much diversity, and there's so many different perspectives and attributes that people bring, that you can begin to mold this circle of friends that aren't just one specific, you know, ethnicity or race or whatever. You're getting all these dimensions. And I think as you get older, you understand that that's really important and powerful, because perspectives are really important. And it's good to have different friends and different backgrounds. And that's what makes things kind of pretty and successful in a sense. And like I said, UGA has so many opportunities, whether it's clubs, whether it's you know, athletics, whatever you can think of, you have the resources there. So you're never going to feel alone. And you can always find a friend at UGA. There's so many people. I mean, you have 35,000 students. So you're definitely it's a little overwhelming, but you're definitely going to fit in.
Thank you so much. I have two questions coming from the students. Number one, and this is more for Jasmine, can you be in a Latin sorority and a regular social sorority at the same time? And just to finalize, because this is for both of you, what is Goizueta Ambassador? Can you talk more about that? And do you have a scholarship? Do you get the access of a scholarship through Goizueta Ambassador?
So with the sorority question, you can be a part of, because ours was an academic, so most with our sorority and many others, you can only be a member of just one, unless it's a National Honor Society fraternity or like a business fraternity. But if it's a social one, it's just, you can only be a member of just that one. And then if you want to do another like business fraternity on top of the social one, then you can. So that's a little bit about that. And just like HSA had mentioned about the resource fair, the welcome back, you'll meet a lot of these different organizations, Greek organizations that are Latin based. So that's a great opportunity to really see that. And again, that's something that a lot of Latin Hispanic folks don't have that background in knowing about Greek life, and it's there for you. And we're an organization just like the others that are there to support you and serve you in different capacities. With Goizueta, I know most of the members were actually recipients of the scholarship. So when I joined, I had never heard of the Goizueta scholarship, but I was able to still be a member because we were actually the first Goizueta ambassadors. Like, it was started back in 2012. So we were the first cohort of that. So that's really cool to see how it's progressed. So with the scholarship, Most of them do, I think if I remember correctly, they do want you to serve or really consider being a part of the Goizeta Ambassador, just as a form to give back. I don't know if the scholarship details have changed, but I know that because of that, I have a younger sister, 2 years younger than me, because when I joined Goizeta, I was like, hey, she was a senior, and I was like, hey, you need to apply for the scholarship that I just found out. I feel like you would do really well to just apply and go for it. And because I was able to find out about that scholarship, she ended up getting it. So she applied, and then she was a Goizeta recipient. And then with the line about the scholarships, now that I remember, my sorority is actually having a scholarship. They have the application that's going to go live within these few couple of days, and it's for high school seniors, but for women. So for females that want to apply, I'll give out the information, but they're going to be posting about that scholarship on our social media page for those who are interested in applying for a scholarship, and it's for seniors.
And just to add a little bit more about the Goizeta Ambassador Program, so what that is, it's a program that is funded by the Goizeta Foundation, and Goizeta Foundation, that's related to Coca-Cola. Like Jasmine said, that scholarship is available. All you have to do is apply, write a short essay, and it's based on your financial need and your grades. So I would definitely apply for that. I don't think it's a requirement to serve as an ambassador, but it's also something that you can do, and I would definitely push for. So as a Goizeta ambassador, what you do is you're pretty much an advocate for the university. You work through the admissions office to get involved with events that you host to promote higher education for middle school and high school students of a minority background. So you're talking about Latinos, African American, and so what happens is you have schools from all over Atlanta come to Athens and actually tour the university, and so you get to spend the day with these students and kind of talk about your experiences as a student, talk about your path to UGA, the opportunities. You walk them through information about scholarships, financial aid, how to apply, SATs, all that good stuff. And then you get to have lunch with them and just kind of, mingle and talk and kind of give back. And it's great because, I think a lot of us who were in that program can relate back to that kid in middle school or high school who comes from a minority background, whose parents might not speak English, who may not know how to apply for college or the opportunities out there. But seeing the face of satisfaction that they get from understanding that, yes, this is a possibility and a reality is so great and wonderful. So it's definitely a great program that pushes for higher education for minorities. It's something that you can definitely get involved with. And, it's definitely something that looks great in terms of leadership and just what opportunities that can provide you in the future, and just the people you get to meet around the university. It's definitely something that not everyone gets a chance to do. I think in our group we had maybe 10 to 12 people, and then we get to stand out because we get cool red polos or wearing black slacks, and so you're walking around school and you're an advocate for the university, so you get to attend events, go to things like that. And people just get to see how cool you are wearing your polo and your black sweats and kind of being an advocate for the university.
Well, I want to say thank you to both of you, Jasmine and Juan. Thank you for giving all these wonderful opportunities to talk about your experience here at UGA and after UGA as an alumni now. Thank you for taking your time this Friday doing this. And again, thank you. I'm really, really grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. And if you guys have any other questions or anything that may come up, you guys can follow us on social media. I think our hashtag on Instagram is
if you go on I think Facebook is easier. It's just but put on the Facebook search UGA Latino alumni group, and it'll pop up. And then we're also active on Instagram. I saw also the question about the scholarship. And for that one, you can look on Facebook and search UGA, no, not UGA, Delta Alpha chapter, Lambda Theta Alpha, and there'll be more information on that. But definitely.
And if you shoot us a message, we'll gladly answer it too. So we'll keep it late.
I know there's a lot of questions, but thank you.
Yeah, we need to go, but also they can email me. They can see my contact information, diversity.uga.edu. Again, once again, thank you. Have a wonderful evening, okay? This is the end of the first hour and a half. At 6:15, we are continuing our UGA Ready session number 3. So I will see all the students later at 6:15. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a bit.